Hi, I'm Catherine, and my favorite book as a child was Madeline. It's written by Ludwig Bemelmans, and it was written in 1939. And this story is about a little girl named Madeline. She lives in Paris, and she goes to a boarding school, and she has 12 other girls in her class, and she's the smallest one. So they talk about how even though she's very small, she's very brave, and she kind of has a spunky personality. She, in the story, has her appendix taken out, and she has to go to the hospital in an ambulance. And all the other girls in her class are scared by that at first, but then when they go to visit her and they see that she's recovered and has gotten all these toys and candy for being in the hospital, then they come home and they want their appendix taken out too. So as a child, I think that I most responded to the character in this story and to the style. So the character Madeline is a simple character because this is a very simple book, but a lot can be inferred about her. So one of the things that they mention is that she's very small. She's the smallest in her class, and that I always related to that because I was also always the smallest in my class. But even though she was small, she was very brave. So they said to the lion in the zoo, Madeline just said, poo-poo. And then she was also very brave, and so that was something I think I kind of aspired to as a child. I was afraid even just to go to my classroom when I was going into first grade. I was really nervous, but she went off to boarding school all by herself, so I think I kind of admired that about her character. And then the whole experience of her having to go to the hospital in an ambulance, that was kind of a scary type of thing for me, but then when I saw Madeline doing this, I thought, wow, well, that seems scary, but maybe it wouldn't be so bad if that had to happen to me sometime. The thing that I think drew me to the story a lot was that it was a really simple story and really easy to learn as a child. So all the lines rhyme, and there's only about 2 lines of text on each page. So it begins, in an old house in Paris that was covered with vines, lived 12 little girls in 2 straight lines. And it goes on with that very simple language and rhyming pattern. And so as a young child, I was able to easily memorize this book. And before I knew how to read exactly, I was able to memorize it and point to the words of the story and pretend like I was reading even before I could read books on my own. So I remember reciting this book in my head and to my parents, and even today I can still remember the first couple lines without looking back at the story. And then this story also had other books. The author also had other books about Madeline that also started out in the same way, with the same introduction rhyming section. Something else that was interesting is that while some of the pictures are really simple like this, some of them are more detailed, and they have a lot going on in the illustrations that's not written right there in the text. So by looking at characters' faces and details, you can get a little bit more out of the story than what's just written there. So I liked to look really closely at the pictures in this story as a child and kind of interpret what was happening. So I look forward to watching what all of your favorite books were as a child. Thanks.